stuck there forever. And I don't know why it's not giving anybody anything else. I'm really sorry to the dev. I don't think I can do this one on stream because I literally won't show up for anybody who's watching. So, sorry. Like, it's probably not your fault, just to be very clear. It's probably... Like, the only other way I can do this is if I do it as a display. And I don't really... Let's try display capture. It's going to be kind of annoying, but... Okay, let's try it one more time. Yeah, now it's working. Oh, you know what? Let's just double check and make sure we know what's minimalist about this. How much more minimalistic can you get than light versus dark? That's the core concept. Light versus dark, okay. Cool. But am I... Okay. Well, already your specs are more forgiving than mine, so there is that. Okay, that's actually fairly charming. So, I understand what you're going for with the light versus dark here. I would probably have considered maybe going a little bit more minimalist on the background, because right now actually seeing the enemies is difficult a little bit. I'm just going to make a quick note here. 147 probably actually started in earnest at 145 or so. Begins approximately... It's like, the problem with this guy isn't so much that it's like, it's actually kind of adorable, but like, I really can't see... Like, these little MS Paint guys are kind of adorable. I don't know if they're MS Paint guys. It's not meant to be like a bad assumption. Like, in this case, it's sort of, if you played the one Odyssey, it's like that kind of in terms of how adorable it is. It's just that, it's just, I do wish the tiles were a little more cohesive with the aesthetic. They feel a little out of place. The tiles feel a little bit more like standard MV, but like they don't feel like, you feel like mismatched aesthetically with the rest of it. But like the actual dudes are pretty adorable. The problem is that I can barely see them in a lot of the cases. Like I kind of have to like lean into my computer to actually see. Okay, so I've got a spear. Okay, so I can do that. Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm just gonna keep doing that. I do like that I don't have to, like, spam click. Okay. You could... I feel like it would have been okay for me to just be able to jump up there. Okay, different types of enemies. That's good, that's good, that's good. Like, honestly, this one has a lot going for it so far. And I feel like it is likely that it's going to get a little bit over... Let's see, how's it going so far? It might. We'll see. It's hard to know exactly when something's being overlooked in the ratings. But yeah, you're kind of on the edge there with the 10, I think. There we go. Now, did they say that there was a map button here? Okay. Okay. See, I think a lot of this is just... Okay. Now, that's a criticism that I also got in my own project, and that, yeah, because it was kind of obvious, but like, or maybe it was more obvious, but like, you can't really see where the side is. It goes down, and that's unfortunate. Okay, so that goes nowhere. It does feel like there's a lot of spaces where it probably would be okay if I could just traverse oh! Like, it would be nice if it was like places that I could just traverse normally. Oh, okay. Okay, so that's... Okay. Okay. I wonder if this is like a boss coming up. I'm getting some boss vibes here. Yeah, this is gonna be a boss. Whoa! I don't know what this is. I do like the healing being relatively instant. That's nice. Am I supposed to run away from this guy? Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. Cool. This is actually a fairly, like, competent entry. I feel kind of weird saying that. It don't take this the wrong way. It's not entirely clear looking at it that it's going to be this involved and impressive. I might not be able to finish this on stream. There might be... It might be two involved. I'm sorry. Oh, you know what? I've been playing this, and I've only been showing, like... half the screen. I'm so sorry. I've not been showing the whole screen, really. Yeah, the chat doesn't cut off anything significant there. Okay, good. Okay, so now we're gonna have a lore drop, probably. Okay. I'm getting some like Hollow Knight-y vibes from some of these dudes. Not that that's bad, it's just... it is what it is. Ooh. Yeah. And again, it's not that it's bad, it's just not... like, it's a competently executed entry so far. It's really just something that, like, I don't know if I can devote the amount of time to it to give it... Ooh. Okay, that's interesting, though. You can start chasing it before it lands. Oh, right. Okay, so I can't get through there. But, like, if I understand correctly, this thing wants me to defeat at least 4 mini-bosses before the game is over, and I don't know if I'm trying to be more... this is going to sound horrible. I'm trying to be more respectful of my own time when I play these games, and I do not know if I am going to budget the time to defeat 4 bosses for this game. Mark enemies with spear and hit them for more damage. Okay, cool. Cool, so I can mark enemies with spear. Great. Well, and like, there's so much that I have to use the spear to climb. Okay, so it only works once. It doesn't keep working. Oops. Sud, I want you to know, it really is WASD. It's your favorite control scheme ever. Okay, come on, man. For those of you unfamiliar, Fed and I actually have kind of a mutual dislike of WASD in 2D platformers where it is not necessary. So, like, half the things entered in Metroidvania Month are not to our preferred control taste. Because... Oh, boy. Okay. Wait, why can't I jump up? Okay. Expedition Land of Light, can't... Okay, you know what? I can respect that. Just being like, I didn't have time to make a map. I actually respect that. Because, like... I would urge you, if you're going to make a game this size again for this competition, please find time to make a map. I know that sounds easy to say. It is easier than you think, probably, to do. So I would urge you to consider it next time around, because this is a pretty big world, and I'm not getting like lost per se, but if I did, it would be helpful to have one. Okay, see, like, that seems like a thing that is... Hey, Cynic, how's it going? Oh. So you're getting the Kingdom Hearts vibes here. Okay. Okay. Okay, so you're going to hear a little bit of a rant from me. This is not necessarily a rant about your game. This is a rant about the fact that so many people in Metroidvania Month are just in love with using space to jump and WASD to move. Why? Why do you need that? In this case, it makes a little bit of sense because there's a mouse that you're using to attack, right? But, like, even here, I'm not sure this couldn't be done better with a controller or the arrow keys and the keys on the left. Like, really, I dare you to prove me wrong. That, like, is it really better to be using WASD and the spacebar to jump than it would be to use the arrow keys? Or even WASD and, like, JKL, which is, in my opinion, far superior, because then I can get 3 buttons on the right-hand side for possible actions, right? Instead of just getting, the one spacebar. Like, come on, man. And, like, I understand the appeal of using spacebar. Like, when I play One Step from Eden, my preferred control scheme is arrow keys, ZX, and shift to use the main weapon, and spacebar to shuffle, right? So it's respectable. Like, I'm not saying it's bad, but, like, honestly, you spacebar people, you really baffle me. Why would you do that to somebody by choice? Why would you make that the default way of jumping? It just feels wrong. Morning, Gallus. How's it going? You came here just in time for my rant about control schemes. Now, to be clear, I have made what I feel are reasonable concessions to the WASD people. I have allowed for control schemes in the last like 2 or 3 games that I've made that involve using WASD as your movement key. Okay. Well, you woke up with a bad headache. I'm sorry. My ranting probably will not make it better. Okay, so about an hour, about a minute. Okay, an hour and 45. Okay. It would be a nice quality of life, and maybe this is an upgrade that I'm supposed to get later, but it would be a really nice quality of life thing. No! It would be a really nice quality of life thing if that didn't happen. Thank you. Or that, thank you. Okay. It would be a nice quality of life thing if I could just overfill on the heal a little bit, because then I wouldn't have to remember to just constantly spam it in order to not lose it. That would be great. And also if I weren't just like falling onto enemies that I can't see. That would be great. I know I'm sounding like I'm complaining a lot, and I am. Because I have been back to this area now a total of 3 times. And I'm kinda over it. You know? I'm just kinda over it. I will say these enemies are more intelligent than the ones that I had in my own game, so I have to give you props for that. Oh, shoot. Okay. Okay. Great. So, my reward for exploring over here is an area that I can't quite go to yet. Which is, I guess, fine. I don't think I really, like, got any damage going down there. But, like, now I have to go all the way down here and risk more damage. Come on, why this guy? Why with this? Why with more of them? Why? Why do you like these guys so much? I'm sorry, I know again, if it sounds like I'm complaining a lot, it's because I am. Because there's a lot of charm here, coupled with a lot of sort of frustrating design decisions. Like these guys existing is a frustrating design decision. And, like, I'm really just hoping that I get to another save point before I die again. Because... Why are you still following me? Oh, come on. Please stop. Please leave me alone. There we go. It is notable that I haven't noped out of this at this point, I think. It's really not, like, I want to be very clear. But this game is not bad. It just makes a few frustrating design decisions that might be more frustrating than you as the developer intended them to be. It's also, like, I understand you're trying to do kind of the opposite of what Hollow Knight was doing. No! No, not this guy again! Okay, why am I in a boss? Why am I in a boss with no opportunity to save? Okay. Okay, so I have a choice to make. The Shadow game is very charming. It also has some questionable design decisions, and I realize I am far and away not the one to talk about this, but the placement of checkpoints is not the most generous as the game in full. And I feel kind of bad because it's obviously got a fairly well-developed set of mechanics going, even if it is, in a lot of ways, a copy of Hollow Knight. It is also pretty good for what that is. But the problem is that the developer places a lot of enemies that are just like that. Like it's just a. It's an enemy. It's a placement where the enemy is like they're actually pretty good. They're just a little bit tougher to fight. Yes, it's incredibly Hollow Knight-esque, and it's not bad. It's just that I've been through this same basic route like 3 times now, and at no point have I found like a save point that's later on than the one that I could do. Because I found like one save point, but it was like. I literally couldn't get to it. It was like right behind a barrier. Not right in front of a barrier, right behind a barrier that I didn't have the ability for yet. So like what you're seeing now is the third time that I've been up here. Like, I've been through that room 3 times now. It's a lot. That's a lot of times to be through one room, just trying to find a save point. Like, I'm sorry, but like these enemies should be. Those enemies should go down in 3 hits. Yes, the run back is really risky, and it's not... Unfortunately, the risk is not paying off here. Like, I can kind of see enough of where they're going with it that I feel like I can rate them fairly on genre, as long as I rate fairly generously. Because, I mean, like, I can't sit here and tell you that your Hollow Knight clone isn't a Metroidvania, right? Like, that's obviously what this is going for, on some level. That's not to say that it's a bad game, though. Like, as far as that goes, it's pretty good. There are actually some things about it that I think I like better than Hollow Knight, but the fact that every enemy is just a sponge that takes so many hits to defeat is a lot. And I realized that it would be a little bit easier if I used the sphere thing, but that you have to hit them with the sphere first, and also remember not to do that. And also, like, there's just so much stuff to do, right? Like, we're going to give this one more try, and we're going to see if we find a save point that is not that save point. And if I don't find a save point within about the next 10 minutes, I think I'm going to be done playing, and I'll probably rate based on what I've played. And I apologize to the dev if that seems like I'm being unfair. I promise you, it's a matter of just trying to respect my own time, partly, and just not, like, spend a lot of time on something. Like, at a certain point, it has to sort of earn my investment. And so, like, and there are a lot of entries that really want to have a lot of time spent on them in this jam. So, like for example, like let's say that somebody had noped out a little beast in the forest section. That would have been completely fair, because that's a frustrating section of the game. How did I... There we go. Okay, see, like, that should have put me on the thing. Okay. So we're going to about 2 hours and 20-minute mark here, I think, on this one. Again, we're basically going to give it another good college try to find... a, Okay, see, like, that guy is just, like, waiting there if you try to do the efficient route. Okay, here we go. And I realize I'm not fighting, like, my best here, but, like, what do you want from me? Like, there's only so much that I can do in this circumstance. It is fairly generous as far as the attack range that you get as a player, which is nice. Okay. But see, like that. There we go. But see, I can't go over there because... Yeah, that would be nice. Right, because going right in that room is just pointless. It's just... there's no reason to. Again, I come back to the same thing that I come back to in most Metroidvania months, which is there is nothing wrong with a game being a little frustrating if it's supposed to be. And I get a sense that maybe here what we have is a game that is frustrating but was not supposed to be. Again, not pretending to any kind of perfection here, but inadvertent frustration platforming is not good for any game. It's especially not good for a game jam game that is not about precision platforming, per se. It's supposed to be search action, not search, oh no, the spikes again. Again, projecting a little bit here because I had the same problem with my own entry, but I feel as though I may have not had the same At the risk of hubris, I don't know that I had the same problem with it that I'm experiencing here. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. Maybe Neopolis in chat can tell me if I was as bad as this, because he's played both. It sounds like. Okay, so what was over here? Yeah, if anybody in chat is, I don't know, like, tell me, like... Like, if the Mushrooms and Beast made you feel pain comparable to what I'm feeling right now, please tell me. Because, I hope they wouldn't, but, you know, I don't know things. I'm just wondering if my own save point placement issues caused anybody the same amount of pain that I'm feeling right now. And I know that's a kind of a subjective question to ask, but I'm partly doing it as an experience. Yeah, Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think maybe what I would like to do is to separate the respawn point from the saving proper, or something. I'm not sure. No. You're a very bad man. Yeah, that is a fair critique. And I don't know that it would really hurt anything for them to automatically trigger. I think the cost to speedrunners of having them auto-trigger would be very small, considering that the actual trigger area for them is pretty small. And I could always do a thing like, don't do... Okay, so I guess I just do go down here to this boss, and that's the next save point. Okay, so this boss is going to get a good college try here, and then we... Oh. Okay, well... Okay, so... I was looking to see if there was another save point that was nearby. Can someone tell me, please feel free to spam on this, is there a save point that's closer to that boss, or is it just this run back every time? Do we know? Okay, we're going to try and get back to the boss one more time, in fairness to Dev, and then we're going to have to call it, I think. Because I think I've done this enough to prove that I have experienced the game. Okay, so it's been a while since you played it. Thanks, Neopolis. Yeah, well, Gallus, you were going to, I think you were going to start with Beast today if assuming you're still good to go on the stream feeding in thing. Okay, see, like that time I didn't get hit by it, which is nice. So I'll get to hear your assessment live on stream. Please feel free to make fun of me mercilessly if you start experiencing inadvertent frustration platforming in my game. Because, as somebody who has self-proclaimed to hate it so much, I feel as though it would only be just for me to face the wrath of fellow platformer players on the matter. Okay. I mean, I sort of feel like I'm doing my time in purgatory right now. I really don't hate this game, just for the benefit of the dev. I want you to know I really don't hate this. It just... Okay, now I hate it a little. Okay. I'm gonna try one more game. I'm gonna try Ovoid's game next, and then I'm going to call it good, I think, for my stream. And then I will probably raid into you if you're going. Okay. I'm gonna hold off on... I'm gonna write down my quick notes here. Execution... Enjoyment and execution always blend together so much for me in these categories. Like, I can't separate them. Scenery... Tiles. Very Hollow Knight influenced, but that's no crime. A number of issues onto each other. Be run back to a boss each once. Grant, that's mostly on me. Just one of which. And point. Respawning. Spike checkpoint. There's frustration. Platforming. When forming or reflex. Game in particular. Probably didn't intend. Execution. Metroidvania for 5 out of 5. Exploration on par for meeting jam. Oh, shoot. For meeting jam genre criteria. I see the theming. But I don't necessarily see it borne out. Perhaps incidentally, probably would have had more conveyance, a more ish. Is it chiaroscuro, C-H-A-I? How do I spell that? Oh, chiaroscuro. Why is it an AI overview? Okay. Focused scheme. Okay, I guess I am writing down my thoughts right now. I know I may have said on a stream that I hated the platforming a little. Run back a little. I did. However, the game is still very charming and definitely seems to be an accomplishment. If a new version appears, slightly more generous hard checkpoints. I might even see it all at some point. Until then, recommend extending the adorable art theming into the tiling and giving a little more background contrast to characters versus the characters and enemies. Okay. We're gonna rate this. To 4. Okay, enjoyment's up to 4, this down to 5, 4, 5. See it borne out, even meaning it's... Okay, that's cool. Yeah, Gallus, I won't be done with this before. Let's see it. Standards of minimalism that I'm using. Do I really? Let's see. Did they do what they said they did? Yes. Here's the problem, is what do I do when I just don't buy their interpretation of the theme? I mean, I've been on record as saying I'm not even sure I buy my own interpretation of the theme, so I should probably be generous to other people when I don't buy theirs, but like... I also have to like trust the vibes a little bit, and there is a 5-point scale for a reason. But I feel like by the standards that I've been using, I have to call this minimalist. Because I feel like they did what they said they did. So we're going to give them a symbolic 4.5 out of 5 rounded up. To honor the vibes, I'm getting that this really wasn't minimalist. Giving a symbolic half-point off. Won't affect the score. And the thing is, I feel like I'm going to get like absolutely like destroyed on theming in this jam. Because despite Thud's best efforts at music being minimalist, I feel like I relied mainly on the dichromatic thing, and that didn't necessarily carry it through to being minimalist. It won't necessarily carry it through to being minimalist in everybody's eyes. So, like, I am a little bit anxious that I'm probably going to be rating people more generously on theme than they will be rating me. Because my main rating, if I can't see it immediately, is going to be how well did they do what they said they did under theme. And I think that it's true, but I think that I really do think that like if you just leaned more into actual minimalism all around in terms of the backgrounds, you would have had a better time. Because right now, just the backgrounds are very detailed and they're almost more noisy than anything, so they don't really help.